So if you are using a motor vehicle for business purpose, then you can claim the input tax credit. So if you are paying a amount as a membership in the health club, then also you cannot claim the input tax credit. Travel benefit extended to employees on vacation such as leave or home travel concession. So after caught by the government, if I am paying the tax, for that tax, input tax is not available. Hello my dear students, I am your Ajay sir, faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru, a temple of excellence. My dear student, in today's session, I am going to handle the subject Indirect Tax 2 for 6th BCom, and the topic is Input Tax Credit. Now let's go to the first slide. In the previous session also we have discussed what is the meaning of input tax credit, who can claim the input tax credit, eligible criteria for input tax credit, and also documents are required for claiming the input tax credit. So in today's session we are going to discuss on block or negative list. So who cannot claim the input tax credit, so for whom input tax credit is not available. Let's go to the first point. The following supply of goods and services are not eligible for ITC. So what are those? So there are some items are there, or there are some points in the input tax credit. So those category or those person falling under those category, those cannot claim the input tax credit. So let's see. First one, motor vehicles. Motor vehicles. So if you are using a motor vehicle for business purpose, then you can claim the input tax credit. For example, same motor registration happened for the in the name of the business, for usage of the business, then you can claim the input tax credit. But if you are using the motor vehicle, it may be car or it may be any other vehicles using for the personal purpose, then you cannot claim the input tax credit. Only for the business purpose, input credit ITC is available, and apart from business purpose, ITC is not available, except when they are supplied in the course of business or used for providing taxable services. So except, for example, motor vehicles, except following services, the ITC is available for the following services except personal purpose. Next one, transportation of passengers. If you are using a motor car or bus or any other vehicles for the transportation of vehicles, that is considered for a business purpose. For example, motor bus is available, and also other taxis are available, okay, for the purpose of transportation of the passengers. So it is used for the business purpose, not for the personal purpose. So that's why the input tax credit, if you purchase the bus for the business purpose, so you can claim the ITC. Transportation of goods, even though not only passengers, if you are transporting the goods also like lorries and other carriers, we can claim the input tax credit. Next one, providing training on driving, filling, navigating such vehicles. So if you are providing a training, for example, car, motor training is available. So if you are going for the classes, driving classes, so the whatever the car they used to provide the training, if they purchase, while purchasing that car, they can claim the input tax credit because they are using the car for business purpose, not for personal purpose. Next one, for the supply of such vehicles or convenience. So even though after, for example, already I am having a one car, again I am purchasing one more car for the business purpose, then also I can claim the input tax credit. So any number of supply or any number of product you purchased only for business, pure business service or business purpose, you can claim for input tax credit. Next one, supply of goods and or services in relation of food and beverages. For example, hotels. So hotels, they are preparing the foods and beverages to sell. So they also, if they purchased, while purchasing the raw materials or maybe other, like maybe vegetables or maybe other products for to prepare the food for the purpose of selling to customers, they can also claim for input tax credit. So it may be hotels or it may be restaurants or it may be any other food and beverages industry. Next one, outdoor catering. Even though, for example, outdoor catering service who are providing the outdoor catering service, they can also claim for input tax credit whatever the groceries they purchase for the purpose of business, or it may be factories which are producing the food, or it may be biscuits, or it may be chocolates. So they are all producing the goods for the purpose of selling the goods to customers, not for personal consumption. So in case of this matter, they can claim for input tax credit for whatever the input they have purchased and whatever the tax they have paid on the input, they can claim the input tax credit. Next one, beauty treatment. So even though if a doctor providing the beauty treatment, they can also claim for input tax credit for the materials and also equipment they have used for providing the beauty treatment. Next one, health service. So even for example, if it may be hospitals or it may be other clinics, if they have purchased operation equipments, if they have purchased clinic equipments, if they have purchased no motor car or any other articles, goods for the purpose of health service, they can also claim for input tax credits. It is because they are purchasing for the business purpose. Next one, cosmetics. So for example, if you go to the beauty parlor or other person who are providing the personal service to the clients, so if they have purchased a cosmetics, they can claim the input tax credit out of the whatever the tax they are paying. See, after getting the income from the business, they have to pay the tax. So while paying the tax, they can claim the whatever their investment and whatever their tax paid while purchasing their articles. Next one, and plastic surgery, except where such inward supply of goods or services of a particular category is used by a registered taxable person. Now, what do you mean by that? So, for example, if a registered taxable person use those products for himself, then they cannot claim the input tax credit. If he using to provide the service to the customer or for the business purpose, he can claim for input tax credit. Next one, for making an outward taxable supply. So only as a business person, so taking a input and also producing the goods and producing the service and supply as an outward supply or selling the goods to customer. In this case only input tax credit is available. Next one, same category. For example, even though if you are using a health facility or it may be cosmetics or it may be any other service for the personal purpose, then input tax credit is not available. So if you are using for the business purpose, then credit is available. Membership of club, health and fitness center. For example, if you are a member of a club, you have to pay some amount as a deposit or it may be life membership. For that amount, input tax credit is not available. For that amount, input tax credit is not available because you are doing or you are paying the amount for your own personal purpose, not for the business purpose. Next one, for example, if it is a health club, so if you are paying a amount as a membership in the health club, then also you cannot claim the input tax credit because it is on your own purpose. You are going for the health club. Next one, it is a fitness. For it may be gymnastic or it may be any other yoga or it may be any other fitness centers. If you are paying some amount, you cannot claim the input tax credit. Now let's go to the next point. Rent a cab, life insurance, health insurance, except where it is statutory obligation for an employer to provide such service to his employees. So what do you mean by that? See, I am a employee in a certain institution or organization. Okay, I am getting a cab service from my employer or from my owner. And if I am getting a life insurance service or if I am getting a health insurance service from the owner of the organization or from the business institution, if it is mandatory for that particular business, if it is mandatory for the particular business to provide all this service for its employees, then for that amount, whatever they paid, for it may be car or it may be life insurance or it may be health insurance for the employees, they have paid some amount to the life insurance company or it may be health insurance company or it may be cab company. They have paid the amount. So they will claim with the tax authority for the input tax credit. While paying the total tax, they will claim the amount for the tax paid with the input tax credit authority. So if it is a mandatory from the government point of view, if there is a law, it is a strict law, if they are having to provide all this service, then they can claim the input tax credit. But without any law or any provision from the government for claiming the or from providing these benefits to the employees, even though they are providing these services or these no health insurance, or it may be life insurance, or it may be cab service on their own, no, on their own intention without any government obligation, then if they claim for the ITC, input tax credit, the tax authority will not provide the input tax credit because it is not mandatory, or it is not, there is no law or regulation to provide these types of facility for the employees, but the employers are providing these facilities on their own. So there is no law, or there is no regulation, there is no strict laws and regulation which is mandatory to provide all these facilities. Even though they are providing, then they have to bear the taxes, they have to pay full taxes, they are not eligible for the input tax credit. So if they are having any rules, regulation from the government to provide all this facility for the employees, for that facility they can go and claim the input tax credit. Next one, travel benefit extended to employees on vacation such as leave or home travel concession. So for example, if the employees or owner of the company provided any employee travel facility, or it may be go home facility, for example, if they are working in the any other state or different part of the country, so they will give 2 or 3 months leave with paid benefit, and also traveling expenses provided by the company. So for those such expenses, input tax credit is not available. Next one, goods or service received by the principal means owner, in the construction of immovable property. So if a goods or service received by the principal, so if for example I am building own house, or for my usage only, if I am building the house, and if I getting the service and goods for the construction of the house, so in this case input tax credit is not available because I am constructing this house for my own purpose or my personal purpose, not for the business purpose. Next one, other than the plant and machinery except where it is in input services for supply of worker contract services. For example, if I am purchasing any plant and machinery to provide the facility for the workers, then I can claim for input tax credit. Next one, see, goods or services received by a taxable person for construction of immovable property on his own account. So if I am using a goods or service for the construction of my own house, so then ITC is not available. Other than plant and machinery, even when used in the furtherance of business. So for example, even though the business is used for the purpose of business, if I used in between the business purpose, if I used for my own building of my own house, then also ITC is not available. Next one, goods and services which tax has been paid under the composition scheme. So if the for the goods and services which is paid in the composition scheme, so for that scheme ITC is not available. Next one, tax paid after deduction of fraud, willful misstatement or suppression. So for example, I have conducted a business of 1 lakh rupees worth of goods is sold. I have to pay 10% tax. Okay, 10,000 is the tax I have payable. So, but I have given the misinformation to the tax authority. The tax authority came to know that I am doing some fraudulent activity. Then I have to pay this tax, 10,000 rupees. So while paying this tax, I cannot claim for ITC because it is a misrepresentation and misinformation and also suppression. This amounts to misinformation and fraudulent activity. So in this situation, the tax authority will not provide the input tax credit system. Next one, tax paid for the release of detained or seized goods. So for example, I am a business person. So as a smuggling, I have bringing goods from other part of the country. So after caught by the government, if I am paying the tax, for that tax, input tax is not available. See, if it is a smuggling or it may be any fraudulent activity, if I am caught by the government and then I have to pay the tax, so for that tax, the ITC is not available. Next one, tax paid for release of confiscated goods. If you have paid any goods which is confiscated by the government, which is blocked by the government, if you pay the tax, for that also no ITC is available. Goods or services are both received by a non-resident taxable person. See, if you sold a goods to non-resident taxable person, if he is a not resident of India, then ITC is not available. But if you import any goods by him, if you import goods from him, then or if you purchase goods from him, then for you ITC is available. But you sell the goods to non-resident of India, then ITC is not available. Next one, goods or services are both used for the personal consumption. If you are using the goods or service, even though you are a taxable person or even though you are a registered person, if you are using for the personal consumption, ITC is not available. Next one, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written off or disposed of by way of free sample, gift or free sample. So if you have given or if you have distributed the goods for the free sample, then ITC is not available. If the goods are stolen, ITC is not available. If the goods are lost because of, it may be in the transportation, because of accidents, goods may get damaged or lost, for that also ITC is not available. Next one, written off means if you return the goods to the seller, for that also ITC is not available. Next one, goods sent to job worker. Who is job worker? See, job worker is not the owner of the goods, so he will receive the goods for further development of the goods from the owner of the goods. So here owner means principal. Owner means principal. So if any person receives the goods for the further improvement or further production, then that person is called as job worker. He is not the registered person. He is not the registered person. He is the person who takes the goods from the registered person for the further development. Again, he will send back the goods to registered person. So if he sold the goods or if he purchased the goods, we have some conditions. Let's see what are the conditions. The person who undertakes the job of treatment or process for another person is called job worker. The person who receives the goods for further process or further improvement from the registered person, that person is called as job worker. The owner of the goods who engages the job worker is called the principal. The owner of the goods who sends the goods for the further development to the job worker is called as principal. Inputs and capital goods can be sent to job workers and a principal can avail ITC on them. So even though he has sent a goods to job worker, the principal, the owner of the goods, can get the ITC or input tax credit benefit. Next one, the goods can be sent directly from the job worker's place without bringing them to the premises of the principal. For example, I am a principal or I am the owner of the goods. Okay, I am the owner of the goods, I am the producer of the goods. I have sent the goods for the further process or further development to the job worker. Now I can sell the goods from the, instead of selling goods from my place of business, I will tell the job worker to send the goods to the person to whom I mention. I will tell the job worker to send the goods to whom I mention. Here, job worker is just sending the goods, my goods, to his place, to the customer's place. But job worker is not the liable to pay the tax or for the ITC benefit. But I am the person who can get the ITC. Even though I have sent goods from job worker place, I can claim the ITC. That's what the goods can be sent directly from the job worker's place without bringing them to owner's place. I can send the goods from his place to the customer. Then also I can claim for ITC. Input should be brought back to the principal or alternatively sold from the job worker's premises on behalf of the principal. See, if I have sent the goods to job worker for the further process, it should be returned from the job worker within certain time. Let's see what is the time. So within 1 year in case of normal goods. So if I send a normal goods for the further process or further development, it should be returned by the job worker within 1 year. And within 3 years in case of capital goods. Capital goods, it may be machinery or it may be car or it may be other fixed assets. Those are considered as a capital goods which is used for the production purpose. So if I send those types of goods to the job worker, then I can receive the goods within 3 years from the date of transfer of the goods. Next one, if the goods are not sold, brought back within the stipulated time. So within a 1 year in case of normal goods, or if it is a within 3 years in case of capital goods, then it will be considered as a goods are sold. It is considered as a supply between the principal and the job worker. It is treated as deemed supply and the tax is payable thereby by the principal. See, to the job worker, why I am sending the goods? For the further development or further process of the goods. But if the job worker did not send the goods, or if I did not receive the goods within the 1 year in case of normal goods, or within 3 years in case of capital goods, then the goods will be considered as a supply, or the goods are sold to job worker, and job worker will be considered as a customer, and the principal has to pay the tax here. The principal, the owner has to pay the tax here. Now next one is input service distributor. What do you mean by input service distributor? See, it means an office of a supplier of goods. So it is a office of supplier of goods where you will get all the, it is an address where all the invoice receipts will be received, or where you will issue the invoice or issue the bill. So for example, in which place the address of the bill will be there. So the head office place, or in the head office, even though you will be having the branch office in different parts of the country, so where, in which place we can consider as a place of input service distributor. So the head office will be considered as a place of input service distributor. So if the tax authority wants to concern that person, or if the tax authority wants to send any documents, or it may be ask for any documents, the tax authority will go for the place of input service distributor. And if they want to collect any tax, they will go to the head office. If they want to check any tax documents, they can go to the particular places. That's what the service supplier, goods or services are both which receive tax invoice. This is the place the business will receive the tax invoice from the authority under section 31 towards the recipient of input service and issue of prescribed documents for the purpose of distributing the credit of central tax system. So even though we are having so many branches, so even though I am conducting business from so many branches, a one branch or head office will get the total credit. Even though I have conducted so many business, I have sold so many articles, so only one office will get all the benefit. So that particular head office has to distribute the taxes for all the branches. That's what input service distributor. So input service distributor is a place or an office where the government or the tax authority will send all the credit, whatever they conduct the business, and whatever the credit is available for them will be sent to a particular head office. Then that particular head office will distribute the tax to other branches. Even for example, I am the person or business person registered in Karnataka, head office is registered in Bangalore. Even though I am having my business now in the Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore, it may be Chennai, or it may be Kerala, it may be Andhra, I am having different head office, or it may be branch office in different parts, but my head office is in Bangalore. Okay, so now whatever the input credit will come to my business, it will comes to head office address or head office account. So out of the head office account, we have to distribute to other branches regarding their production, regarding to their sales. We will distribute the input tax. This is what input tax distributor. State tax, it may be integrated tax, union territory tax paid on the side of services to a supplier of taxable goods or services are both having the same permanent account number. So my PAN account number will be registered to the head office address. So in that address, to that account, all the taxable credit or all the ITC will comes to that particular asset. So from that particular account, all the amount should be distributed to other branches. So in the next session, we are going to discuss on manner of distribution of credit by the input service distributor. So how distributor will distribute the input service credit to other branches. Let's see in the next session. Till then, thank you so much.